Hi guys, welcome back to Small Farm Guys. Today we are taking, well, I'm sure you can tell we're in between the bed of the Kubota and the front here. We got the bed up. We are gonna actually go ahead and replace the starter today. We've got the new one here. This is not a Kubota starter. It's an aftermarket one, but it's supposed to fit, so we'll find out the hard way. We're having problems with it starting. You'll turn the key and you'll get nothing. So it's either the starter or the switch, and the switch is on its way, but we already got the starter, so we figured this thing's had a hard life starting, so might as well just do a starter for it. So we're gonna put this starter in today, but we'll just walk you through how to replace the starter on this thing, and hopefully you guys are able to do it if you ever have any issues. So what's been going on with the thing, like I said, is you'll turn the key, you'll get nothing. You'll shut the key back off, you'll start it again, the starter will kick over one, it'll kick like half a turn roughly, it'll stop, you shut the key, and you gotta kind of cycle the key a few times. I'm thinking it's a switch, but it might also be the solenoid on the starter. It's 23 degrees out right now, so we picked this day because it's Saturday, and Wednesday and Thursday it was actually 30, 34 below. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the hot terminal off the battery so that way we don't shock ourselves. Alright, so what we're doing is we're taking off the hot terminal. You'll notice ours has more wires than yours might, but this is for our plow attachment and everything, so gotta make sure we're going the right way. I believe we are. We'll find out. And it is a 10 millimeter, so if you're like me, you had to walk through about 5 different sockets before you figured out it was a 10. And then you gotta go find your 10 millimeter. So that should be loose enough. Just gonna wiggle this up. Oh boy, that's dirty. We've had a lot of mud. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually take my other glove here, so that way they don't touch in the middle of this. Because they're leather, I'm just gonna throw it on top of my other glove, so we don't have to worry about getting shocked later on. Alright, so your first bolt is located down here, and it's a 12 millimeter, so you can see it already had a socket on it, but that was me trying to figure out what size socket it was. So yeah, it is a 12 millimeter bolt, so we're just gonna go ahead and take that one out, and then I'll show you where the other one is, and you're gonna need an extension to get that thing out. So you gotta wedge this wrench down in here, and it's a real pain in the butt to do. Alright, so for that top bolt, you're gonna want 2 extensions and your deep socket. And in my case, you need 2 extensions because you can't find your 6-inch extension. So it should get me past the starter, because you gotta go back past the back of the starter, because the bolt is right down here. So you can't get in it from this way because your exhaust manifold's in the way. So the bolt's right in here. What I do is you just put it in here and kind of snake it down in there, and then figure out where it went. There we go. Get it on and go ahead and break it loose. But be careful about your alternator and all the wires that are in the way. Alright, so next step we're going to take and go ahead. I got to slide this back. This is a 12 millimeter bolt too. Same as the starter, so at least they're keeping something consistent with the bolts. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. And then I'm going to crawl under there and look at how to take that clip off the best way. Alright, so this clip here, all you do is there's a little hole in the starter. It's just one of them little clips. You just push it in and you can just wiggle it right out. It pushes in, you just pull it right back out, and it pulls out really easy. So that one wasn't too hard to take out. That comes from the, looks like the alternator to the starter, which is, yep, comes from the alternator to the starter. So that one came out really easily. You guys shouldn't have any issues. All I did is took a flat screwdriver, and when we take this starter off, I'll show you that little slot, and that you just push your screwdriver in there. I'd grab onto the clip itself, not onto the wires, because you can risk pulling the wires out. Alright, so I loosened the starter bolts already, so we just got the extension. I don't even have the ratchet on, I'm just loosening them up. So we're going to take this starter off, and I'll go ahead and give you a shot once we got the starter off and we're ready to put the new one back in. Alright, so now we've got both these bolts out. You can see it's pretty loose in there. What I would suggest is have somebody help hold your starter here, because once you take the one bolt out, it likes to lean and it kind of pinches the other bolt and makes it a pain in the butt. We didn't take this breather out because actually I'm going to just set this other starter over here because the new starter doesn't look like it has the breather in the same location. So it's got 2 other breathers on it. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna leave the other one over off to the side here and then take it off when I'm done. Alright, so here's the new starter. Obviously you can tell this one's all dirty. So far the only difference has been this breather tube, which I just took off. This one is a Denso. Denso. That's the original starter that comes for the Kubota. Now you can buy these through Kubota, but this is a aftermarket one. The price difference is astronomical. We'll go ahead and I'll put the link in the description. I think we called Kubota. I think this one is, or Lano is our parts people. I think this one was like $300. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was like $300, where this one is, gosh, I want to say it was under $100 for this thing. Go ahead and put this one in. We'll get it started for you guys to show you that it works. And then we will put a link in the description where you can get this one, because this one you can just call your Kubota dealer and they should be able to order you one. But we will put a link in the description for this one. Alright, so we've got the Kubota starter put in. So now all we're going to do is we're going to just reconnect both of the wires that we took off the starter, and you're back to normal. So to put the starter back in, obviously it's just as normal. I mean, you took the bolts out, you just put them back in. Alright, so now we got it back on. We reconnected the battery cable, which you don't want to forget to do, because otherwise you might put a whole new starter in and still think it's broken even though the battery's done. I went through and cleaned the terminal. There was a little corrosion on there, so just clean the terminal just to be safe. So now we'll go ahead and we'll start it up for you. Alright, that started up actually easier than with the other starter. The other starter, I mean, this one only cranked about two times. The other starter would be about 4 or 5 times. So it actually, starter was going bad. And it's kind of got a nice little whip to it when it starts. So that's how you do a starter on a Kubota. The link for the starter will be in the description for you. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos. That's how you do the starter at least. So until next time.